Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you for today's webinar on digital transformation, the catalyst for agile and smarter process R&D. Brought to you by Indian Chemical News, India's #1 portal on chemicals, petrochemical and energy sector, and Revvity signals. Let me introduce you to our speakers one by one. Before that, I am your host, Pravin Prashant, Executive Editor, Indian Chemical News. Dr. Lobo, Global Head and Business Excellence, Innovation, R&D and Chief Ethics Counselor, Tata Chemicals. With over 20 years of experience, he drives technology innovations aimed at creating impactful disruptions and competitive advantages at scale. Previously, he led corporate strategy and business excellence across Tata Chemical operations in India, US, UK, Kenya, South Africa, Morocco, and Singapore, focusing on continuous improvement and growth strategies across South America, Africa, Australia, and Asia. Good afternoon, Dr. Teacher. And he's joining.
Thank you, Mr. Pravin.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Debabrata Rautaray, Vice President and Chief Product Development and Innovation Officer, DCM Shriram Chemicals Innovation Center. He has over 26 years of experience in new product development and leads cutting-edge research in performance chemicals, advanced materials, and green chemistry. He is an expert in science-led product commercialization, seamlessly translating innovations from concept to market with a strong focus on sustainable business growth. His proficiency in stage gate project management ensures smooth scale-up from lab to pilot and full-scale industrial operations. Thank you, sir, for being part of this panel. Dr. Debabrata.
Thank you.
Joining from Baroda. Dr. Prashant Puri, Head R&D DFPCL, a visionary leader. He is a trailblazer in the realms of agriculture innovations and technology with over 35 years of experience. Dr. Puri has left an indelible mark on the landscape of research and development in both India and the USA. His journey is a testament to the power of bridging science and business, transforming conventional practices into cutting-edge solutions. Dr. Prashant Puri has spent 2 transformative decades at the helm of research and development within the Aditya Birla Group and Grasim Industries, and currently with DFPCL Mahadan Agritech Limited. Thank you, sir. Dr. Deepak S. Panmand, the General Manager R&D, Dhanuka Agritech. He is a seasoned process development chemist with over 18 years of industrial experience in the pharmaceutical and agrochemical sector, currently serving as General Manager at Dhanuka Agritech Limited. He leads a team focused on innovative, scalable, and cost-effective pesticide process development. His career spans key roles at United Phosphorus Limited, UPL, Naveen Fluorine, PI Industries, Glenmark Pharmaceuticals. He holds a PhD in medicinal chemistry from the University of Camerino, Italy, and completed postdoctoral research in heterocyclic chemistry at the University of Florida. And he is joining from Ahmedabad. Dr. Mudassir K. Munshi, team leader, Deepak Nitrite, working as a team leader at Deepak Nitrite since 2020. His area of interest includes design and development of catalysts for selective synthesis of target molecules, structural elucidation of catalyst formulation, synthesized by various characterization techniques, as well as scale-up of market catalyst. He has also experience in developing chemical process involving synthesis of aldehydes, ketones, heterocyclic amines, alkylation, amines, phenols, hydrocarbons, and various other organic transformation from lab to pilot plant to commercial scale. Dr. Munshi has also worked on utilization of renewable resources for the synthesis of value-added chemicals and ionic liquid. Good afternoon, Dr. Mudassir, and he's joining from Latur.
A very good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Manish M. Khandagale, Senior Field Application Specialist, Revvity Signals. He's a Senior Field Application Specialist at Revvity Signals. He has extensive experience in pharmaceutical R&D and technical customer support roles in analytical instruments and scientific software industry. He is responsible for providing technical and strategic support to drive our mission of empowering scientists to make data-driven decisions by utilizing our best-in-class informatics solutions. Thank you, Dr. Manish M. Khandagale.
Thank you. Thank you.
The key discussion points that we would be covering in this panel discussion is sustainable agile process R&D, experiment design and data capture, workflow standardization and data integrity, analytics dashboard for process insights, collaboration and knowledge management, and industry outlook on digital transformation. So let me brief you about the ICN Play and Win contest. So please pay attention to Dr. Manish's presentation. About the contest, I will be asking questions from the audience during the course of the session. It will be after the presentation of Dr. Manish. And the one who responds first with the correct answer stands eligible for winning rupees 1000 gift voucher from Amazon. All the questions will be asked by the moderator of the session and replies need to be given in the chat window. So in the Zoom, you have the chat window. So I request all of you to give your answers in the chat window box of your respective screen on the Zoom platform. Final winners to be announced at the close of the e-conference session today at 4:30 p.m. Terms and conditions. Only the person with the correct answer responding first in order of priority shall be declared winner. Organizers and sponsor partner employees are not eligible to participate in the contest. Organizer decision to be treated as final in case of any discrepancies and gift vouchers to be sent electronically to all the winners post completion of the session. Just a brief about Indian Chemical News. On June 18th and 19th, we are going to organize our flagship conference called Next Gen Chemicals and Petrochemicals Summit at the Leela, Bombay. This is on June 18th and 19th, and the theme is preparing for the future growth. Just the stats about ICN: page views 1,75,000, users 1,02,000, newsletters 58,000 open rate and a click rate of 11%. LinkedIn followers is around 80,113. I would request if you are not subscribing to our newsletter, please go to our website, go to the bottom of the page and subscribe to the newsletter so that you get to know update about what's happening both India as well as global. We cover both Indian companies as well as global companies at the same time. So thank you, everybody. This is a short presentation from my side. Now I would request Dr. Manish Khandagale from Revvity Solutions to give his presentation. So over to Dr. Manish Khandagale. And Dr. Manish M. Khandagale is the Senior Field Application Specialist at Revvity Signals. So I request, since after his presentation, there will be quiz questions. So I would request all delegates to pay attention to his presentation. So over to Dr. Manish Khandagale.
All right. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining. And just let me know at any stage if you are not able to hear me. If there is any interference, I'll switch off my camera and I'll see if there is any connection issues as well. Okay. So as the topic says, we are talking about process R&D, and when we talk about process R&D, whether it is commodity chemicals, specialty chemicals, petrochemicals, or the agrochemicals, all these sectors have a huge role in our economy as well as in our day-to-day life, right? And in past 2 decades, we have seen this industry has come a long way. We have seen many new trends in this industry. For example, use of okay, my screen is okay. So we have seen many new trends in industry. For example, use of robotics, automated fluid devices that can help in minimizing human errors, development of sustainable processes, application of inline sensors that can help in real-time monitoring of the processes. High throughput methodologies are used so that it can cut down experimental timelines, and you can look at minimum viability of the experiments and eliminate reiterations. So though these are all advancements have happened, this also brings some challenges to the industry. For example, scalability issues. So of course, what works on a lab may not always work on a plant scale. There are some regulatory constraints and resource constraints, lack of skilled talents. And top of that, always, whenever it comes to R&D, balancing time, quality, cost is one of the major challenge, right? And to address this challenge, there is a growing interest towards digital solutions, and they are increasingly exploring digital solutions like AI, ML, machine learning, advanced analytics, and cloud computing. So are we really ready to explore these solutions? So these solutions can bring real value only when you have a strong digital foundation. What that means? It should start with connecting all your fragmented data sources. Data should flow seamlessly. There should be enhanced collaboration. Uh, all the scientists, team members, they should have good visibility of data. They should be able to look at the right data at the right time so that they can have better data insights and they can make better decisions. So when we are talking about data insights, what kind of data insights we can expect from this kind of connected systems? Let's have let's look at this example. So this is a high throughput screening optimization uh, example. So in this case, the goal of this process was to optimize yield of this 2E isomer, and large number of experiments were performed to screen a set of phosphine ligands and catalysts and process parameters such as temperature, catalyst, loading. And after performing all this series of experiments, huge amount of data which was brought into one single interface so that scientists can interact with this data, they can get better data insights, and they can plan further activities. So what kind of insights they can get from here? For example, let's see how many experiments have been performed per ligand. On the top, you can see ligand yield of the ligand 2E isomer per experiment. Here, scatter plot shows the effect of different parameters. You can filter data by campaigns and then interact with this data to see how different combination of different conditions are influencing the yield. Then look at the correlation of different parameters to identify which conditions give better selectivity, better yield, explore three-dimensional space, and that can help you in finding the right combination, minimize a set of experiments instead of doing all random trials. And just imagine the amount of data, amount of experimental execution, how you can handle it with the traditional systems in absence of digital execution system, digital data analytics system. Let's have a look at another example. So here it shows how you can build and reuse your knowledge base, and also you can get insights in operations efficiencies. You can track operations efficiencies. Here you can see, you can look at ongoing projects, their status, look at how different groups and projects are performing, their status, which scientists or teams are currently overloaded or underutilized, how much time they take to complete particular tasks, and this can help in proper resource planning. Similarly, you can tap into your historical knowledge base to see whether similar reaction or molecule has been developed before in-house, which conditions were used, and how do different variables impact performance and greenness of the process. So you can explore three-dimensional space and again interact with this data. So what you see here is this data analytics provides you a foundation for getting a sense of the data, and then on that foundation you can build upon with advanced data analysis solutions like AI, ML that can automate your process. You can predict and answer your questions. So the very first thing to get this data insights, where actually all this data comes from. So when we look at any R&D process, the process R&D, right from the lab scale to production scale, many different operations are involved, various data sources are involved, and if you broadly classify those this is coming mainly from your planning ideation phase, your experimental records, huge amount of data which comes from your instrument analysis, as well as streaming data which comes from the real-time monitoring, and the various legacy systems, and even the local and shared drives. And connecting all these data sources is most important. The traditional system, what happens, these are all siloed, isolated data comes, and you can't really apply AI, ML, and this kind of strategies unless you clean this data. This data is often scattered, unstructured, and not really useful. So before we can apply any of this strategy, we need to go through several data processing steps. It should go through the data reduction, standardization, where you reorganize data in different rows and columns and combine tables, add metadata and annotations, do ontology mapping. Then you can visualize this data. After visualization, you can understand, you get a good understanding of data. You can build your training data sets. The training data sets can be used to build AI ML model, and then you can get these insights. But even with this, there are challenges. This approach, it's of course it's a tedious process. You have to fetch data from all different sources. There are the scalability issues, data governance and compliance issues. So in this case, you think this whole process as a cycle of, let's say, all these processes as a part of one cycle. Let's say you make something, test something, decide, and then again, based on that, you design new experiment. So it's a design, make, test, decide cycle. And how about having one integrated solution which can bring all these things together? It can provide uniform platform that can connect all your operations data sources, whether it's inventory, experimental records, instruments, or legacy systems. And how about this platform syncs, aggregates, and standardize data in a real time? It can streamline your workflow, and it can repeat throughout your design, make, test, decide cycle. So how about having this kind of platform? So let's look at example of a typical chemical process R&D, and where it starts right from the design phase. Where in design phase, teams would like to do planning, brainstorming based on their existing data. They can easily search their existing historical as well as ongoing projects data using multi-parametric search. They can use user-level dashboards for their day-to-day planning. For example, task and request status, or if they have to look at the sample records, different instruments which they need to plan their experiments. In this planning phase, based on these experiments, they can do the resource planning. Then the materials, all the materials that they need to perform any experiments, straight away they can query inventory down to the particular location or container of that material. If the material is not available, they can place order for a new material, track the status of those orders, and as the materials are being consumed, they can track the consumption, update cost and safety information, or MSDS, and all this information they can capture along with this material. Once they have all the materials in place which is required, they can create a design of experiments. And even as you can see here, they can do the screening design. So multiple parallel experiments which they can design. So that can be used to check the viability of the experiments. Once the design, they have designed, planned their activities, they can come in a making phase, where in the making phase, they can use standardized templates and predefined workflows where they can capture all the metadata, all the scientific records, whether it's a chemical reactions or automated calculations and stoichiometry. They can capture all this information, fetch material straight from inventory as they perform the experiments. They don't have to go again for another system. Straight away, they can bring materials, and as they use for any preparation, they can track the consumption. And process R&D people, they can record all their process steps in a sequential order with date and timestamps. During the making phase, throughout the process, you make a variety of samples to test the process performance. And variety of samples can be created along with the scientific context. And straight from here, imagine the same material you need down the line for some other projects. So you can create a container, inventorize this material, or you can even create test requests for those materials. So variety of in-process samples you can submit for a testing purpose. And it can help you with all the collaborative tasks where you can assign it to different analysis teams. You assign individual analysts and they can perform analysis. So you can efficiently handle all these collaborative tasks in one platform. Once its making phase is done, it comes to the testing phase. So where in testing phase within the same system, analysis groups receive requests. They again, use standardized templates to record all the experiments, all the calculations. They can go through sign and review process and automatically send back results to the sample creator so that sample creator can look at the results and they can further continue with their process. So particularly in this testing stage, a huge amount of data is generated from analytical instruments as well as a lot of streaming data is there. And what about having a platform, or what about if the same platform integrates with your instruments, automates data capture, ensures everything flows in a real time. So with that, throughout the design, to make, to test, you can access all your data, whether it's a baking process, materials information, all the documents, instruments data, everything will be structured and aggregated within one system, and that way it serves as like an all-in-one connected system. It acts as your central data repository, which can help you in real-time data aggregation, standardization, and contextualization, so that in the decide phase, you can quickly access all this information. So when you come to a decide phase, this is where you need to have quick access to your data, and not all huge amount of data, but the selected subset. So you can quickly perform a global search. Here, all-in-one connected system already provides you all the standardized contextualized data. So it saves you from that data processing steps. It allows you the quick global search. You can explore all the relevant information. You can extract a subset of data that you require. You download into predefined dashboards, visualize it, analyze it, interact with this data, and again plan your new activities. And then just these dashboards can be like different questions that you would like to ask your data. For example, I'm doing process optimization, or I would like to reuse my knowledge, or I would like to compare different batches and their materials. So that's how this quick search can help you in extracting that subset. Use analytics tool to get sense of the data, get deeper insights. So this analytics and visualization tools serves as a foundation to get a sense of data. And once you have this foundation, then you can build upon that. You can build your data models, use this AI ready data to explore AI possibilities, and what AI ready data, what possibilities this AI ready data provides. To use GenAI and NLP, LLP, this kind of algorithms that can streamline your workflows. It can help you with a semantic search, which can go beyond just a keyword search. It can help you in summarizing your experiments. You can have AI co-pilot assistants. Nowadays, every day we are using ChatGPT. Why can't we have that ChatGPT inside our system doing science, helping you in managing your science? And with the trained data sets, structured and unbiased trained data sets, you can do AI ML to solve complex scientific problem. For example, reaction suggestions, AI-driven design of experiments. So this is how you can use all these capabilities, the system which can connect all this data. So to summarize, by strategically integrating all the digital tools, data, people, processes across the R&D cycle, it can enable you in making faster, smarter, and AI-driven decisions. So it is just as a catalyst that accelerates reaction, digital transformation catalyzes your innovation. And so with that, I would like to stop here, and thank you all for your time and attention. And now let's turn to our experts to hear about their experiences in digital transformation, their recommendations, and how that can help in driving digital transformation in process R&Ds. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Manish Khandagale, for your speech. And the last slide which talked about that you have multiple features where it can be helping unify, search, augment, collaborate, a lot of things which can be done using this software platform of scaling and accelerating also. So you're trying to move from a traditional to a transformative R&D, and because it is now a multi-city, multifunctional, and it is also different departments coming together to focus on sustainability related products. So it is becoming more complex day by day, and so these platforms will make R&D division or R&D people to utilize this and make it far better. Let me move to the ICN Play and Win contest. I would request once again, please type your answers in the chat window of the Zoom platform. So the question is, which reaction was discussed in the data-driven process optimization dashboard? Buchwald-Hartwig amination, catalytic hydrogenation, PD/C PTOT, Suzuki-Miyaura cross-coupling, and Pal-Nor synthesis. So please type in your answers in the chat window. Which reaction was discussed in the data-driven process optimization dashboard? My second question, which of the following best describes digital transformation? Scanning paper records into electronic files and replacing manual data entry with Excel spreadsheets. Second, automating lab instruments to send data directly to a central folder. C, strategically integrating digital tools, data and processes across the research lifecycle to enable faster, smarter, and AI-driven decision making. And D, uploading documents to a cloud-based storage system to implement AI algorithms on existing data sets. It's good to see a lot of people typing in their answers. The third part, which will be on the screen, identify the incorrect statements below related to AI/ML adoption in R&D. A, machine learning performs best when trained on curated and structured data sets. B, data from experimental records, material planning, and legacy system is always AI ready. And C, structured data with metadata and annotations is crucial for AI/ML model development. So we are through with the quiz questions. Now let me open the panel for the panel discussions part. We have a very elite panel today. Dr. Richard Lobo from Tata Chemicals, Dr. Debabrata Rautaray from DCM Shriram Chemicals Innovation Center. Dr. Prashant Puri is not able to join today. Dr. Deepak S. Panmand from Dhanuka Agritech. Dr. Mudassir K. Munshi from Deepak Nitrite, and Dr. Manish M. Khandagale from Revvity Signals. So what I have done is we have divided this panel discussion into 8 questions. The topic of discussions that I showed you on the PPT. So I would request all of you to give the short answers so that we can take 10 minutes of Q&A after the panel discussion as such. So let me straight away jump. The first is how can digital transformation lead to streamlining R&D processes, whether it is experiment design and data capture and workflow standardization within R&D to maintain quality. And I would request Dr. Debabrata Rautaray to have his views, followed by Dr. Mudassir and Dr. Manish. Over to Dr. Debabrata Rautaray.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pravin. So good afternoon, everyone. So it's a pleasure to be here today. In the world of new product development, especially in R&D, and where I belong to specialty chemicals and performance metals R&D, one of the most common problem we face are scattered and disconnected work. I mean to say that the experiments were often written in notebooks and what we call it as the black books. Ideas are all shared through informal channels, emails, chats, and in-person meetings. Through all these, the important knowledge typically get lost when people leave projects or the projects change hands. So here, the digital transformation, has helped solve these problems. We have initiated a lot of initiative in this particular space by connecting all our research activities to into easy to use systems. So, Dr. Manish mentioned about Revvity signal, and, we do take the services of Revvity for electronic lab notebooks, where our researchers no longer have to maintain handwritten notes in Black Book. Instead of, they can log in their experiments online, which means the data they can search at any point of time. They can secure their data safely, and it can be instantly shared with their colleagues, irrespective of the locations they are in. So imagine somebody is working in, say, Gujarat. Somebody can see their data live in Delhi. Somebody can see their data live in another country. So without exchanging any email or any other other tools, where the chances of they getting lost is high. So similarly, in all these ELN tools, things like ChemDraw and other possible things are already there, where chemists can draw their chemical structures. We also internally use online data generation platforms, where anyone in the R&D, marketing, sales, all of them can contribute to new ideas, and these ideas actually can be reviewed, rated, tracked, and the person who has given the idea can remain as a record in the system. Other digital tools that has helped the R&D folks are doing their literature search through Scopus, online journal access, patent analysis tool. This helps researchers immediately pull up research papers, prior arts about specific molecules they are trying to develop. So one can quickly check if there are new ideas, truly unique, or somebody has already done similar work. So this saves time and avoid wasted efforts. Other digital initiatives we are taking, as you all know, Stage and Gate is a worldwide is a very successful model when it comes to new product development. And typically, whoever has handled Stage and Gate, the biggest challenge people face on the Stage and Gate is the, as you know, the stage, there are 5 stages, 4 gates. Each stage has specific questionnaires to answer. Each gate has certain, questions which the gatekeepers need to be satisfied. So there's a lot of documentations, and many a time the documentations are repetitive in nature. So in order to ensure that these processes are more streamlined and easy to use, so we are trying to develop online systems where Stage and Gate can be completely digitalized, so that the repetitive things will be avoided. The gatekeepers know which gate they need to approve at particular point of time. So these things keep the workplace organized. And typically, if you look at scientists, would not like to keep a lot of data, and then one need to make their life much easier. So instead of writing same project multiple times, it is stored online to be accessed by all stakeholders. Other digital tools that we have been utilizing is online Gantt chart. For example, if somebody has a lot of money, they can buy Zoho, or there are lot many other platforms are there, where Stage and Gate do not actually cover timeline, but then one can have online Gantt chart to monitor their project. So this way everyone knows what's happening, and cutting down a lot of confusion and delays in the projects, and every stakeholders are actually involved. Similarly, Dr. Manish mentioned about design of experiments by utilizing various modern tools. They actually helps in reducing experimental time. A lot of trial and error are actually reduced. So in conclusion, all these digital tools just don't make it life easier. They help us work smarter, faster, and more reliably. So they also reduce typical errors. Anybody moves out of it, the knowledge remains with us. And many a time, speed to market and good ideas really turn into products more efficiently. Yeah, so this is something which I wanted to touch upon. I'll leave it to Mr. Pravin to ask the same thing to other panelists.
Thank you, Dr. Debabrata. I would now ask the same question to Dr. Mudassir. If you can add on what Dr. Debabrata ji has already said.
Thank you, Prashant, for providing me this platform to put in my perspective on digital transformation in the R&D process and within the R&D. Of course, the digital transformation is not just a trend; it's a need of the time. I believe that it has been there in the system from the decades in various forms, and we have been using, and it is getting enhanced over the period. Digital transformation, of course, fundamentally, it will enhance all our ongoing activity, such as the data management system, by clubbing the AI powered tool to the traditional processes. We can further improve our digitalization aspect. And finally, what I believe that the kind of the digital tools we have been using, such as the design expert, as mentioned by Dr. Debabrata and Dr. Manish, if we could able to plug the artificial intelligence into the DOE, it will give us further optimal experimental condition based on the historical data and reduce the error. Finally, another thing that I could see that the digital transformation in terms of automating the data capture, as mentioned by the Dr. Manish as well as the Debabrata, that the electronic notebook systems are one of the very important tools. In electronic notebook system, it's again like having a right electronic notebook system is very crucial. For example, there are various kind of processes that need the special attention in order to have the data fulfillment as per the process requirement. So one such data electronic notebook system is also developed here at our Deepak group, which is named Athena, and we have been using this for a decade, and it is working very fantastically, not only for the in-house, but it is also available as a product for the market. And we have customized this according to the various type of the processes that are operating in the industries, whether it is in the pharma, whether it is in the bulk and commodity chemicals or the agrochemical industry. The moment we change the type of a process, the capturing of information has to be changed, not only at the developmental stage, but also right from the realization of the project in the mind. If if at all somebody wants to have a right digital tool so that they can capture the information and utilize it to reduce the efforts and improve the cost efficiency, we have to have the digitalization right from the day one of initialization of the idea. If we have this kind of a mindset, then we will incorporate all those needs into the software developer, and he can come up with a right kind of information in a software that is in the form of an electronic notebook. So considering the processes like the conventional batch mode processes or the continuous processes, we need to have the different platform in the same electronic notebook so that we can capture the information accordingly. And besides this, we have to also ensure that within the same project code, as Dr. Manish was mentioning, that you can retrieve the information as and when it is required. If historically something has been done in the past, we need not to reinvent the wheel. So we can, if we could able to incorporate the search engine itself in the electronic notebook, then right from the feasibility stage, the information that has been gathered while developing the process and thinking it from the idea to the plant. During this whole journey, whatever the actions that has been taken up can be captured within that particular electronic notebook. And I believe that in addition to this, we can also rework parallelly by doing the tests of what we have developed in the software, and redefine our workflow and take the test back to the execution. So I believe that all the points that Dr. Manish and Dr. Debabrata has covered in the digital transformation are really definitely going to be helpful, and digital transformation is going to help in our data R&D integration of the advanced tool.
Thank you, Dr. Mudassir. Dr. Manish, your views. I would request for short answers.
Absolutely. The short answer, I mean, if I look at your question again, it says how digital transformation can lead streamlining R&D processes. The answer is like, as we discussed in my presentation also, we look at any R&D process as a cycle of design, make, test, decide, and identify what is our critical challenge. And we need to have connected ecosystem where data flows smoothly throughout these phases, whether it's for decision making, excellent execution, if you want to test something. So we need to ensure that data flows smoothly, identify what are the key bottlenecks. The common bottlenecks are difficulties in data capture, accessing it, collaboration issues, many repetitive tasks which consumes a lot of time. So how we can address those challenges using digital transformation, whether how we can standardize the data capture, how we can use the automation systems to have direct connection, automation, communication with the systems to eliminate repetitive tasks. So answer is, again, we have to think about all our processes as this design, make, test, decide mantra. Look at the systems which are critical. Dr. Debabrata mentioned about they are having ALN for data capture, but at the same time they have systems of Gantt charts or some other analysis. How we can loop in those systems also, how we can connect those, so that can bring one ecosystem where everyone can access all data that can accelerate your processes.
Thank you, Dr. Manish. After listening how different processes are helpful with respect to the automation part of it, and as Dr. Manish talked about, connected ecosystem, which is very much required, so that everybody knows what's happening in different R&D projects which are running parallelly. Coming to Dr. Richard Lobo from Tata Chemicals, sir, I wanted to understand what are the challenges faced by the R&D community, right from discovery to development, and how can it be minimized? Dr. Lobo.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Pravin, and it was wonderful hearing the panelist. You know, I think the R&D community at all points in time faces a number of challenges. I think it starts with the complexity of discovery itself, identifying new molecules or materials or technologies. They're inherently very uncertain and very time consuming. I think data and then the opinion overload on that data is the next issue that always happens. Manish spoke about how it starts with having structured data, and only then you can have design approaches over it. Then there are the regulatory compliances that you need to do, some of them being very lengthy. I think in pharma, biotech, you know, we've got some agri experts here. They will attest that agrochemicals in India can take anywhere between 5 years to 8 years to get the regulatory clearances. Then there are data integrity requirements, right? For example, traceability, you need to do audits, filing patents. But more importantly, I think the two big ones that face R&D globally is financial and resource constraints. R&D is a deeply expensive, resource-intensive approach. And in your innovativeness, you need to have radical innovations, not just incremental innovations. So in many ways, you know, we learned this in engineering. It's called the Reynolds number, right? So while you can get so many of these issues addressed, and now even more easier with digital tools, right? LIMS is there, the electronic notebook, Slack, Confluence, Manish showed us the entire Revvity signals. I think that shift now is happening with the harnessing of Gen AI. For instance, at Tata Chemicals, what we've done is we looked at hybrid agriculture seeds, and it generally takes 4 years to 6 years through molecular breeding because we are not permitted to do GMO in the country. And through this molecular breeding, you get the right traits in the seeds. You know, it will have better pest resistance, lower water consumption, better nutrients in the seed, and so on. The power was to use this Gen AI over some 2,000 traits, bring them down to 20, and then accelerate the molecular breeding in live conditions. And we got about a 95% accuracy We dropped the cycle time from 18 months down to, just about a few months, and we're even going lower. The team recently got the Aegis Graham Bell Award for this. So Gen AI is, in many ways, I think, is redefining the way we are doing R&D. It's crashing discovery timelines. It's finding white spaces so that we can patent better. It also tells us about novelty far well in advance. Now, let me come to the other side. While there is what is called artificial intelligence, there is also natural intelligence, right? Scientists would like to call it natural intelligence. For us business people, is what I call natural stupidity. Because if you ask the stupid questions, you ultimately end up with the intelligent answer. But from an R&D perspective, I think what's very important is now, having a portfolio management approach to high impact projects. So what I saw was excellent in terms of managing your R&D projects. And then it's now about bringing it to a portfolio management so that it can address that innovativeness that's important. The ability to have open innovation, crowdsourcing models, leveraging public-private partnerships and grants so that your financial and resource constraints and that innovativeness quotient can get rapidly addressed. And finally, I would say what's very important for the scientific community and the leveraging of digital tools is finding ways to do rapid R&D prototyping. Because while we can spend a good many years in trying to get the right innovation to market, go around the hurdles of regulation, getting the data, doing the analysis, getting the approvals, if we don't rapid prototype this to market quicker, we will not be able to understand whether it is fit for purpose, whether it can scale in the market. And digital tools will allow us to be able to predict that faster if you're able to marry that in. So that's the thoughts I had, Mr. Pravin, and handing it back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. Now we move to the third part, and this is to address to Dr. Manish. Growing complexity of molecule research through collaboration in multidisciplinary workflows, and how do you help R&D scientists in overcoming these?
Yeah, that's true. Compared to what we say with commodity chemicals, where there are minor variations, but there are more complexity involved. Different approaches are involved. Sometimes it is a targeted processes. Sometimes it is a multi-targeted processes. Many of the synthesis processes where you see it's more of the reverse engineering. They work on a retrosynthesis processes. So how we can handle all this kind of complexities? So you need software which can provide you the intelligent suggestions, which can look at your provide you chemical intelligence if you're providing working on this chemical synthesis. So for example, for AI-driven retrosynthesis, or if you have these platforms which you can connect to retrosynthesis solutions, you can query the databases, you can bring back the target-based workflows, and then you can perform the high throughput studies based on that. So again, it will require you to connect with different databases, different systems, bring that chemical intelligence, and you have to do the analysis of all the analytics support you need to have. All this process often you need to work with, collaborate with the different groups, whether it's different departments or even geographies. So you need to have that scalability. You need to have a solution which can help you in easily talking to these people, sharing all this information without risking your IP and compliance. So again, this is where it highlights the necessity of having digital connected systems which can help you in working together. The complex molecules, the complexities can't be solved by just one group or one team, but you need to effectively collaborate with multiple teams across the geographies or different teams.
Thank you, Dr. Manish. Now we come to the fourth part, which is knowledge management across geographies, keeping in view data integrity and patent filing. Because if the data integrity is not there, so you, whatever R&D that you have done over the years goes for a waste, and also you go back in terms of your development part. So Dr. Richard, how do you keep these things into consideration while choosing the best software?
Thank you, Mr. Pravin. I will just say that our world is getting more and more complex by the day. So while it is getting very easy to get access to information, it's available on our fingertips. We can even video by a click of a button. There is two parts to it. Digital cannot replace that one-on-one connections, is what I feel, particularly in knowledge management. It thrives largely in conversations, largely in workplace teams, when you have a cause or a purpose. But there is a very strong case for digital by itself. And I heard Dr. Debabrata talk about how it's very critical to keep track of the wisdom that is created in that journey. It remains as a repository in the organization. So as people create value, that value gets residual in a company. And then there are also various tools which accelerate this whole aspect of collaboration, teamwork building, joint innovation, and so on, or joint experimentations. It gets more complicated when you go global. And, there is time zone differences, there are communication delays. Importantly, there are language and cultural barriers. India is seeing a new wave now, what's called the GCCs, right? The Global Capability Centers. Many large organizations in the world are setting up their GCCs in India, very engineering based. And when I spend time, I see various nationalities sometimes housed inside the GCC. And the reason being is that Indians and Japanese and Germans and Australians and Americans, we may think R&D, we may think science, but we operate very, very differently because of the cultural constructs that are there and the education systems that have been there. That apart, there is compliance, which is very critical, right? So there is HIPAA for the medical stream, the GDPR, very strong in Europe and Asia. There's also the need for traceability and then the authenticity and the allocation of the IP, because where does it really get created? Is it created in a particular geography or a continent, or it gets created in the parent or the mother ship, so to say? I just wanted to leave with a story on this. My view is when you're faced with a crisis, generally, that times these situations sometimes changes, largely from a science and an R&D perspective. We all know the story of racing for the COVID vaccine, right? So maybe I'll recall another story. It was in the year 300 BC, there were hundreds of the Roman ships that were coming to the city of Syracuse in Greece. And the king, he had run out of all options. His men were tired fighting, they had run out of their ammunition, and he didn't know what to do. So he called this very renowned mathematician and philosopher and scientist called Archimedes, which we all know. And he said, Archimedes, help me with this problem. And this is war. The ships were about one day away. So Archimedes goes on the top of the castle and he looks out and he sees, hundreds of ships. But his scientific mind starts looking upwards and he sees that the sun is blazing hot. And he wonders, saying, can he use concave mirrors to focus the sunlight onto the sails of these ships and then put the sails on fire? Now, the problem that they had at hand is the ships were one day away, and it takes a week or more to make concave mirrors, as we know. So this is where comes the power of having different geographies and different mindsets together. Archimedes called together various kinds of artisans, right from the plumbers to the masons to everybody, and said, we have a problem on our hands. This seems to be something that we can do, but how do we make mirrors so fast within a day that it can bring down those ships? And then somebody came up with the idea saying, why don't you break glass and put it around the shields of the soldiers and let the soldiers go and take the shields and focus it on the ships? And maybe the sails will burn. And that's what they did. And they burnt the Roman fleet down to the bottom of the ocean. This is a story that's commonly called the death ray. So Mr. Pravin, in my mind, while knowledge management is very, very crucial and important, it hinges on two parts. One is the ability to have knowledge at your hands and then codify that knowledge and use the knowledge. But more importantly, the power of being able to harness that knowledge to funnel your idea. Victor Hugo used to say, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come, and that's primarily, I think, something that we need to bear in mind. So those are the thoughts I had, Mr. Pravin, handing it back to you.
So through these short stories, you have explained the fundamentals very clearly to everybody. Now I move to Dr. Debabrata, and here we are going to talk about, he briefly touched about the dashboards. So here to you, sir, how are analytics dashboards helpful for process insights, and how are you planning to move with respect to future dashboards with different R&D division for streamlining processes? Since you are already utilizing it, so if you can just talk about what will be the future dynamics and how do you plan to move in this direction?
Right. So thank you. So we are actually in the process of developing a digital dashboard for R&D. And if you look at many of the traditional organizations, R&D typically work in silos. Simply reason is that most of the people are busy in their expanding their current businesses, and most of the current businesses of traditional companies have very high volume and products. Now, when you look at R&Ds, if the R&D is not directly, it's not a business R&D where it is directly associated with the current products. And when you look at new product R&Ds, which are more like a corporate R&D, they are basically looking at the newer technology, newer formulation, newer science. And what happens that most of the time the products are specialty in nature, and one sometimes need to look at multiple variants rather than looking at one big product having extremely high value and high volume and high value. So typically new product development R&Ds are like that. So many a time what happens that most of the people who fund the R&D have always a confusion what exactly happening in the R&D. Now, in that direction, what we thought a digital dashboard will be really important. So which can actually connect the scientist with the strategy team, with the businesses, with operation team, with sales and marketing, so that one platform it's visible to everyone, including from researcher to senior management. So basically what we did is that we created a dashboard which talks about required details for senior management. A leadership dashboard shows how much money is being spent versus how many ideas are getting generated. For example, a CXO can log into the system. It's like an app system where you just instantly see there are, say, 25 ideas are in progress. These many number of ideas knocking the door for commercialization. This many ideas are already commercialized. How many numbers of patents are being generating revenue. So they need not to get into the nitty-gritties of the project. They just need to know that how much money being spent, how much how the product is moving, how many projects are moving stage and gate, and which gate and stage or TRL level it is today. Similarly, one need to look at what is how this dashboard can help internal R&D team. So internal R&D team can access electronic lab notebook, ChemDraw, online journals, so that everything is available, and then access to the old experiments. So everything is accessible at one particular place. The other part of it would be the innovation management. When we are going to digitalize the stage and gate, people can actually just open their mobile, open the app, and put their ideas as a part of idea repository. Then many a time, as you know, that R&D needs very high value equipment. There are equipments that are extremely expensive, and many a time, even for any specific project, one R&D scientist would like to buy very expensive equipment, and management not getting nitty-gritties to it, basically invest in those equipments, and many a time we find that those equipments are not completely utilized. So what we have also done is that we created a system where instead of logging the instrument usage every day, people just put block the equipment timing, and then one can actually understand the resource usage and the equipment usage. Similarly, what happens that, as I mentioned, that when R&D based products are seeded into the market, it is not necessarily a very high value or high volume product. It is a basket of small specialized chemicals. So when you look at specialized chemicals, there are a lot of optimization, a lot of formulations. So each formulation has a different recipe, and it will have different kind of grade names, specifications, bill of materials. And so what happens that plant team is given access to get into those grades and know that what is the grade name, what are the bill of material, what is the process involved in it. So that is something which is for the plant operation. Then we are also created an interface for sales and marketing team in case there are scientists who are not traveling with the BD team. They can actually access the product brochures from the app. They can look at this product in which are the application segments, and we are trying to create a chatbot that while the BD or marketing team in the market can actually interact with the product developer or the scientist. Similarly, the academic collaborations or industry collaboration can also be mapped in this chart in this particular dashboard. And we are also looking at putting tech licensing, tech talks into this dashboard. So this is not just a dashboard. It brings a lot of visibility to senior management, visibility to the entire stakeholders, and this can actually help. It can be a very powerful engine for integrating R&D with the business strategy, operation, and sales team.
Thank you, Dr. Debabrata. Before we move to the next three questions, let me put the poll question out here. It will be in front of your screen. What you have to do is, there is no quiz, there is no prizes for this. You have to just fill it up as per your organization. So the first question is, can we show it on the screen, Saurabh? How is experimental and process data? Saurabh? So how is experimental and process data captured and managed in your organization? There are 4 choices: mostly manual, partially digital, advanced, centralized and searchable digital systems, and not sure. So you can go to your respective screen. There is a pop-up which is showing. You have to just select which is the most appropriate in your case. And you can scroll it down. The second question is with respect to what limit your team's ability to access and apply existing R&D knowledge within your organization. A, siloed systems lack of integration, unstructured or missing metadata, poor searchability or visibility, and D is others. So you can just select it out there. And the third is, how ready are you to take the next step in digital transformation? This is a single choice. Aware of the need, but haven't initiated. Exploring options and building internal alignment. C, fully engaged and already implementing new digital solutions. And D, not a current priority. So you can please select your right answers or select your right methodology in your organization by choosing the or circling the best part. Now we move to Dr. Deepak, and here that he would be discussing about sustainability goals in the R&D division using digital transformation through an agile process. I would request for short answers because we are now left with 15 minutes and we have three more questions to go. So over to Dr. Deepak as Panmand.
Thank you, And first of all, I would like to thanks to Indian Chemical News that putting a light on this part, like digital transformation, which is going to be help us in order to for process chemistry point of view. Here, I would like to highlight that agrochemical process industry is majorly depend upon the climatic conditions, and because this is unpredictable climatic condition, and there are like pest, they have very fast mutation or due to cross resistance. So always there is a pressure on R&D to develop a cost effective and new pesticides in the market. In the product development cycle, there is a requirement to select the right product for taking the development into R&D. So we need to have the data like import export data of that product, who is biggest manufacturer in India, what are the who are the chemical suppliers. So this information like 80% or 90% are digitally available on the websites. But when the product comes into the laboratory development, in the development to the lab, so in front of process chemist, there are like big mountain of questions comes, like more challenges are there. Like what are the patentability status of this product development molecule? Who are the raw material supplier? What are the qualities? Safety data, scalability issues, and regulatory compliance, time and cost. So these parameters always there is in front of uh, process chemist. So till date we are working in a digitization mode. So whatever randomly data is associated or available for us, which is developed by IT person, like for example in SciFinder or Reaxis, this data is randomly available for us. From that we have to choose the right pathway for the synthesis. So this is really time consuming, and or being an organic chemist is always carrying the baggage to get the right information. And when productivity is always measured time versus value, means time versus money. So there are a lot of funding is spent on the money for the R&D for any product development. So this makes a very delay in making the right decision. There are several challenges in chemistry development. So considering this platform where the digital transformation, this information available on in one platform, this will surely help to the organic chemist in order to take the right decision with the available of used data in database and data security. This information will certainly help to the organic chemist, and there are several synthetic pathways are reported. And here as mentioned that when the process chemist develop a chemistry, he thinks in a monotonous way. But here the different informations will be available for us. And while shipping the technology from lab to the plant, safety data. So this type of information will surely help us for the process chemist for the development of the products in a cost effective manner. So and this digital transformation will help to the making the right decision with reducing a lot of unbiasedness and making a right judgment.
So, Dr. Deepak, one more question will be addressed to you. What is the industry outlook on digital transformation, and how will it lead to cost reduction, process efficiency, and saving a lot of time, which has been addressed to a certain extent by all our speakers? So, if you can just throw light on some things which they have not spoken yet. So, Dr. Deepak, and then to Dr. Mudassir.
Yes. Here to address this question is like basically time. This digital information will give a lot of information within a short period, and which is more to make a right decision at right moment, which saves a lot of efforts. And it will also, if number of experiment reduces, it will save the cost. It will be very easy to environmental friendly. Hazards will reduce. So these are the ways where we can see the productivity.
Dr. Mudassir, your views?
Yes. Yeah.
Industry.
So I believe that the chemical industry has a very promising outlook on the digital transformation, which is mainly driven by the cost efficiencies and optimization, compliances, and having the innovative cycle. As the global competition is increasing, the chemical companies in India and as well as on the globe, not only at the R&D, even in the manufacturing and the manufacturing side, they are looking for the data management to have the best outcomes out of that. So as far as the R&D, process R&Ds are concerned, I believe that the electronic notebook, specially designed and fit for the processes that are operating under the R&D, are the best tool as of now for the R&D within the R&D. So this is my perspective on the outlook of industry on the digital transformation.
Thank you, Dr. Mudassir. Now we come to the last part, and I see also on the chat there are a lot of questions on AI, which has been asked by our delegates. So it is also related to digital twins and AI. The question to both Dr. Debabrata and Dr. Manish is how digital twins and AI enhancements will help in R&D development with respect to user experience, including semantic search, summarization assistance, and automated protocol writing, while contributing to safeguard sensitive intellectual property. We talked about intellectual property earlier also. So, and I would request all of you to please type in your questions so that we can take it up after the panel discussion is over. So over to Dr. Debabrata for your short answer, and then to Dr. Manish, so that we can devote some time for questions from panelists, from Delhi. Sorry.
Yeah, so I will briefly talk about digital twins and AI interface. So, when we look at a digital twin, it is basically a virtual replica of any particular product process where we feed the real data, and where we can actually reduce the number of trials and errors, and then scientists can actually simulate the reaction without even touching a test tube. So say for example, we do a lot of work on epoxy polymers. So we feed data into digital twin system, where in an extrusion process, a researcher were to able to optimize the polymer viscosity, the curing conditions. So we have done it without even doing any lab trial. So this saved us a lot of time, reduced our wastage of material, and given us a first improved level of success. Similarly, similar epoxy additives, adhesives, epoxy in adhesives, we have also, created some digital simulations which has helped us, how different polymers can affect bond strength, the curing time. Once you have a set of data available with you, this helps scientists, make smarter decision. And then the second layer, which will be the utilization of AI. So utilization AI is basically, you take the data from the digital twin or from your analysis, simulation analysis, and feed into AI systems. So instead of scrolling through hundreds of PDF documents, database, a chemist or researcher can simply type high impact resistance epoxy or specific epoxy for adhesive application, and then they get instantly retrieve those relevant data. AI provides all the historical data, and they'll give you an entire summarization of the. So it's actually a very good summarization assistance. So through a play of molecular simulations and introduction that into the to the AI, it can actually give a lot of insight for you to start your actual experiments. And to be honest, these are not futuristic scenarios. They are happening right now as we speak in many R&D centers. Dr. Richard mentioned about the most important part is the speed to market. So I think in this era of AI, the scientists need to really use these tools to ensure that speed to market is achieved.
Dr. Manish, your last views? on digital twins and AI enhancements?
Absolutely. When we even in my presentation I discussed, see, ChatGPT has become a part of our life, and we all expect to have same thing in the science. For example, give me suggestion for this reaction, summarize this list of 50 experiments, or find something using semantic search. So of course, as Dr. Debabrata said, it's not futuristic. It's already there. But what we need to understand the data journey behind it. So AI won't give you answers just like a ChatGPT unless you have right curated, unbiased data behind it. So of course, AI can transform your the way you are working. We are already experiencing with ChatGPT, but for that you need to build strong foundation for that. You need to have better, unbiased, structured data. So that's the remark I would say. Otherwise, once you have that data, you can have your large language models and NLPs, natural language processing algorithms, or you can have the AI chatbot that can help you in processing all this information, and you can explore more possibilities. But first, look at the foundational layer.
So I would like to thank all my panelists for giving all the answers to the 8 questions that we posed to them. Hope it would have been very useful, and you would have gained some more information on what they have already said, and hope you would be practicing them in your different R&D labs wherever you are working. I see many questions. Please type your questions so that we can take it up with the available time that we do have. Presently, we have 5 minutes, but I request all our panelists, if you can stay for another 10 minutes so that we can at least take 5 to 6 questions. In the meanwhile, I would request Saurav, if you can play the poll part parallelly, so that whoever has not filled it up, please fill in the poll questions. So please show it on the screen. Now I come to the Mahesh Dalvi has asked a question. The software used in chemical industry for R&D data collection analysis as shown in earlier presentation. So Manish, a short answer which you have already shown. So if you can name the software which will be used in the chemical industry, which will be useful for Mahesh.
I represent Revvity Signals, and happy to discuss with you more in a detail and connect with you. So it's Revvity Signals.
Okay. Mihari Kinariwala saying, how can I improve my data analysis capabilities as I have a data, but not that good in analysis? Richard, will you take this? Because TCS is part of Tata Group, and you have been utilizing their facility more often. So,
no, I think, yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Pravin, and thanks for the question that has come up as well. I would say it falls in 3 parts. One is, I think Manish alluded to it. It's good to have personal learning on the 7 QC tools. You can go to YouTube, you can get yourself trained on it. Understanding the tools yourself is far more important because interpretation is important on that. The second is use of various digital AI generated softwares which we have for R&D. And the third is you can then overlay it. Design thinking and design experiments can come into place to give you the better interpretation. But it starts with somebody learning it themselves and then doing interpretation.
Thank you, sir. Narendra Babu BN talks about, please let me know which software is helpful. I think please connect with Manish Khandagale, or he will come back to you, because we have your details and he will come back to you. Vidya is talking about, could you explain the validation process for these AI tools to enhance accuracy and reliability? Dr. Debabrata, sir, if you can take this up. Short answer.
Yeah. So see, these AI tools are going to help you in getting closer towards your experimentation and your design of experimentation. But ultimately, it is the human being who has to validate. Instead of running reading many data, AI can actually give you those comparison. But be also sure that AI, many companies are now suggesting that you should not put the required info in AI where it is a company sensitive information, because ultimately it's a public forum, it goes out. So AI is just a tool where it will basically bring you closer to the to the experiments. Rather, ultimately, the data has to be understood and validated by yourself. This will just a helping tool.
Thank you, Dr. Debabrata. Hitesh Kumar Shubhani is should we completely depend on AI, and is the data it is providing correct? And will our confidential data not be leaked? I think Dr. Debabrata has already answered. Mr. Shailesh Kumar Patel, can AI help to design the R&D lab equipments using Mode software? Use like Mode software. Manish, any answers to this?
I would like to.
Is Mode your competitor or?
So I mean, we would like to connect afterwards. I'm happy to discuss with you.
Okay. Vidya is talking about whether KPIs tracking using AI-powered dashboards enhance R&D process optimization. Dr. Debabrata, sir?
I have no idea about this, but yeah, you can try it.
Dr. Deepak, if you can reply to this, whether KPIs tracking using AI-powered dashboard enhance R&D process optimization.
Yes, we are already using this type of tools or methodology, I would say, because this helps us to track the project progress of AI dashboard. At which stage are we, and at what stage we are facing the challenge, and where is the challenge. That kind of bottleneck to crack this dashboard is really helps, and there are some stage gates are involved in all product development cycle.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak.
Yes.
Rosina Mohsin Khan, can a software be developed which can summarize the critical information mentioned in patents or research papers for a specific topic, which will reduce the time required for detailed literature search? Dr. Mudassir, if you can take this up.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Rosina. Yes, of course, there are ways and means to summarize your patent or the publication. Right now, the generic ChatGPT can also serve this purpose. But as far as the confidentiality part is concerned, you can go for the paid version so that you can have a secure data and you cannot leak anything, because not only the chemical industries, but even the IT industries are using the ChatGPT paid version, where the data security and the information security is already guaranteed.
Thank you. Shailesh Kumar Patel talks about is AI can enhance the human creativity and intelligence over whatever current methodology of the R&D activity. Obviously, you have to use all these software to better whatever that you can do without software. I think and AI will definitely enhance human creativity. There is no doubt about it, because there is a lot of research which has gone. They also understand the processes that you are doing. And based on that and the historical data which is available, they have integrated all these things and then made the software. So it will be definitely be helpful for you in the long run. Then Rosina, again, how AI ML can help in data existing, because rendering data is more tedious. Manish, if you can reply to this.
I don't think I
what he's saying is that instead of if the data can be collected right from the all the instruments, so that nobody needs to enter the data.
Exactly, the same thing we discussed in the presentation. So there is a lot of curiosity about AI, but we need to understand how you bring data, and it's not just about bringing instrument data. You need to contextualize. If you are looking at semantic search, it is not doing keyword search, but it is looking at context around what information you need. So you need to bring all this data together, and it's not just instrument. You need to build all context around it. So of course, it's a long journey, but it's possible.
One question is, how does AI tool improve impurity profiling and contamination risk assessment at the R&D stage?
Again, the answer is yes, AI is enabler. It can assist you, but it relies on the data which you capture. So the impurity profiling or any experimental work, you need a human being who will capture all this data. Software can make it easier to capture this data. It can structure it, and thereafter on top of that, AI algorithms can help you. But first, you need to perform all those experiments and get the data.
Dr. Debabrata, your views on this?
Yeah, so AI basically is very interactive these days. It will give you first level of information, but ultimately, as Manish mentioned, that you need to get into those required software, scientific softwares to actually validate and process your data.
Then Virendra Upadhyay, it's not related to R&D, it is all about the R&D process. If we dry our material in oven, then the result, there is an increase. If we dry the same material in a vacuum oven, then the result is in a lower range. The problem is tophenancin acid formation. Please suggest any better solution.
So, Mr. Pravin, I've seen that question. I just wanted to jump in. This is like trying to get medical diagnostic without going to see the doctor. So unless we know what is the material, I don't think any R&D expert will speak about it. The material is very important. What is it that you're putting in the oven?
Okay. Thank you, sir. He's saying tophenancin acid formation.
Yeah. So again, answer is like if you put the same question in ChatGPT, even ChatGPT can give him answer, but it won't be exact
Accurate.
what he want. So if you put that to his public domain or he puts in private data set, so answer will differ.
Dr. Maharshi Yadav, how academia and industry can synchronize with the help of AI? So anybody can answer this, whoever wants to take it up. Dr. Lobo?
Sorry, Mr. Pravin, can you repeat the question, please?
He says how academia and industry can synchronize with the help of AI.
So I think it's a very good question. Academia by themselves is also progressing on AI. Industry is also leveraging AI. We have to realize that a lot of the wealth of information does get generated in academia around the world. And industry focuses on very niche problems, while academia generally picks up national issues, social issues, environmental issues, economic issues. So the ability to get into new spaces, the ability to marry, let's say, sustainability approaches to our current R&D comes in from academia. And Gen AI sits very nicely as the bridge between academia and industry, bringing all the information together, and also tells you which researchers you can work with so that you can progress your R&D to the next level.
One question is from Dr. Sanjay Modi. Workflow standardization to improve R&D activities. I think it is there, workflow standardization.
Yeah, so Dr. Dev spoke about stage and gate. I think that's the gold standard of workflows in R&D.
Okay. And one last question is with respect to, can we get data on new fresh molecules that have emerged and how to do written patterns, CDI screening test via AI? The last question on the chat screen by Hitesh Kumar Shabani. Manish ji, please, if you can answer this.
Yeah, I'm just reading this question. We get data on the fresh molecules.
Can we get?
I mean, if it is like again, like there are different layers to the question. Which molecule you want to access? If it is confidential, the information is not disclosed, you won't be able. If it is your in-house new molecule and you want to generate some reports on patent drafting, you can use the trained models and that can help you in drafting. But again, it's not something magic that you put molecule into will give you the answers. Okay.
Yeah, but maybe if I can jump in, Mr. Pravin, see, I've seen some Gen AI tools. For example, you put something as simple as ethylene oxide in it. It will go through the entire database that is available and start telling you of new white spaces where research has not been done on derivatives of ethylene oxide. So that may be some of the questions they're asking. So Gen AI does allow you to do this, but there are very specific resources, given that they use advanced algorithms on Gen AI. In fact, they're not even called Gen AI. They're the next level of AI, and they're very expensive. But they do allow companies to be able to look into these new white spaces that you can do research in.
So
when it comes to fresh molecules, you need to validate those ideas again.
So in this short time, we were able to answer all the queries. Thanks to my panel. In the meantime, Saurabh, please put the poll questions and let me also announce the winners for the quiz questions. The winners, the first question was with respect to which reaction was discussed in the data-driven process optimization dashboard. The answer was C, which is Suzuki Miura cross coupling, and the winner is Prabha Tiwari from Jubilant. Congrats, Prabha. The second was which of the following best describes digital transformation, and the answer was C, which is strategically integrating digital tools, data, and processes across the research life cycle to enable faster, smarter, and AI-driven decision making, which is the answer C. And this was the right answer was the first to answer, I would say, Rashi Khandelwal from Arcroma. The third, identify the incorrect statements below related to AI ML adoption in R&D. The answer was B, which is data from experimental records, material planning, and legacy system is always AI ready. And this is from the academia, Tanmay Gazara from ICT Bombay. So these are the winners for the ICN Play and Win contest. Let me thank all my panelists for providing us with a whole lot of information and knowledge which we can use during day-to-day research and development. Let me also thank our delegates who have been patiently listening and answering to the poll as well as taking part in the quiz competition, ICN Play and Win contest. Let me also thank my ICN team for making this a great success. And let me also thank everybody for taking time out and participating in this conference, which was organized by Indian Chemical News and Revvity Signals. I'm here, Pravin Prashant, signing off to be present in the next webinar on a different topic. Till then, goodbye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Pravin.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Lobo,
Thank you.
Debabrata, Rautaray, and Dr. Mudassir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.